What's up, guys? It's a beautiful Sunday today. So I am headed out to the Turkey Woods to go collect one of my trail cams. And then I will be heading out to the Deer Woods to place my trail cam and to set up my blind for this upcoming season. I hunt down here in Southern California. So hunting down here can actually be pretty tough. There's a lot of people that are new to hunting every year that don't quite know how to go about hunting or how to have good ethics when hunting. So you get a lot of guys that'll set up on top of you, walk right in front of your blind, early morning, things like that. So you know, if you're going to be hunting this year, just be mindful of other hunters, be ethical, use your morals, use your better judgment. Don't be an idiot and, you know, just walk around the woods trying to bust other people's hunts. One year I actually had a guy walking around the woods blowing a grunt call opening day of deer season. Yeah, don't be that guy. Do not be that guy. Here in Southern California, I've never really had a deer call work before. It's all preparation, getting out there before season, scouting, setting up cams, finding out where the deer are going, where the deer are going to be, things like that, looking for bedding areas, feeding areas, watering holes, and such like that. Don't be the guy that doesn't scout all year and just goes out there and expects to see deer, because that's how you're going to bust other people's hunt and piss off some other hunters. So you want to go hunting. When you go hunting, you want to be prepared. You want to know what you're looking for, where you're going to sit, all that stuff. So today my plan is to show you what to look for, type of food, game trails, things like that. Good places to set up your trail cam. Also, good places to set up a blind, how to brush it in, and everything like that. So, once I get my camera, or once I get to the woods over here, I'll come back and I'll show you what my turkey woods looks like. Well, welcome to the turkey woods, fellas. Yeah. So, this tree right behind me right there, that's the tree I sat under when I killed my turkey this year with a group of hens, and I just came right around this tree right here, shot him right there. I'm about 15 yards away. Never knew I was there. Just sitting under the tree, no blind, wasn't brushed in, just didn't move. And my trail cam, someone didn't steal it, it's right over there. But last year, I'm walking around here, I actually ran into a few rattlesnakes. One I almost stepped on, and lucky for me he rattled before I stepped on him. The second one, I went and stepped over a bush, and he was on the other side of the bush and actually bit me in the boot, which is why anytime I'm out walking around where I know there's going to be rattlesnakes, I wear some snake protection, some good snake boots followed up by snake gaiters. So that's what I'm wearing, some snake boots made by Rocky and some good old-fashioned snake gaiters. I don't trust boots alone to stop a snake bite, especially when rattlesnake fangs are, oh, I thought I saw some. Especially when rattlesnake fangs are like hypodermic needles. You know what I mean? Always have backup. Always have backup. So last year, the turkeys were using this field here, going back and forth. Down in here, there's a creek bed. And over here are some oaks. So they were roosting up in the trees way back there, following the creek bed down, and then coming over here and feeding in this field here. So me and my buddy came out here. He didn't end up getting a turkey at this spot. He ended up killing a turkey in a different spot. But yeah, I came out here one day and there was a big old flock of about 20 birds. So in Southern California, it's Same as deer hunting, it's hard to get a turkey out here too unless you're on some private land. Holy cow, the creek dried up. All ready for summer. So just a few months ago when it was turkey season, this whole thing was full. This whole creek bed. Just goes to show you how bad the drought is in California. We still got some water down over here though. Just a little bit. Hawks flying around. Yeah, this place is beautiful. It's a beautiful place. I love this place. It's all overgrown now. This stuff wasn't here a few months ago. Like I said, it was just all creek. So maybe we'll get lucky. We'll get some rain for next turkey season. And the turkeys will be back over here. We'll see, but yeah, it's funny because turkey season just ended about a month ago, something like that. And right now I'm looking at the ground, seeing if I can spot any tracks, any turkey tracks, which I don't. But I'm not looking too hard. So, yeah. But here's what's left of the creek, I guess. Runs all the way down. Man. And there's some little ones. Take a look. Some little tracks. Holtz, maybe. Yeah. Well, now for the camera. Man, I can't believe how dried up this place got. It's kind of crazy. Some deer tracks right there. Pretty close to my camera. Those are going to be doe tracks. Which is okay. Here in Southern California, I'm all for does. Reason being, we have a lot of small forkies out here. A lot of small bucks. We do have some big ones, but they're rare. And main reason is everybody likes to shoot the forkies. They don't like to let them grow. Which I'm not knocking anybody. I mean, forkies are great for guys starting out hunting, you know. Kids, junior hunters. You know, but I mean, if you're a seasoned hunter, don't shoot the forky just because it's legal. Let the thing go. Let it grow. You know, some guys, they shoot these forkies before they even have a chance to mate. It's like, man, my gosh. Well, we got a million doe out here. Oh. Well, the camera's still there. Before I settle in, check for rattlesnakes. I am in a brush pile here. I don't see any, so I think we're good. I'm gonna go ahead, get this thing off, clean the bird shit off there apparently, and go over to the deer spot, set it back up. And then in the truck, we'll go over the pictures on this thing. Oh, but here, this is how I lock up my stuff. So I use pretty much a big hose clamp, cable chain with a lock, and a secondary lock on the trail cam itself. And so far I haven't had any issues with people stealing my stuff. I did have, on this exact camera, I did have a guy come up to this camera and actually throw some dirt on it for whatever reason. I think he was an anti-hunter. It was during turkey season. Lucky I wasn't out here to catch him, because that would have been a good old country ass whooping out here in Southern California. But yeah, there it is. And you know, so like I was saying, the turkey, they were coming up this creek bed. Well, this way I should say. And we were getting some turkey coming across here, using this as a trail because they were roosting up in some of the trees over here. Well, those are oaks right there. And then further back over there, there's a trail that goes even further back into the property. And yeah, they were all through the sagebrush up in here, all over the place. So it was a good season last year. I saw many turkeys. I only shot one though. They got very call shy, and I think the reason being is because there was guys out here pre-season trying to locate birds using actual turkey calls. And during turkey season, you do not want to use turkey calls to locate turkeys. That's like a newbie mistake, you know, new guys that do that shit. You know, use something like a crow call, owl call, what else? Coyote call, peacock call, hawk, anything other than a turkey call. You use a turkey call, you're gonna make those birds educated on the calling techniques, and that's not what you want right before opening day. So the birds, you call to them all day, they won't answer, but they'll come in, but they'll be quiet when they come in. You know, they'll gobble on the roost, and then after they fly down, complete silence, except for the hens. You'll hear the hens every now and then yelping and clucking and stuff, but yeah, the toms or the jakes, none of those guys will gobble. They'll just stay silent all day. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful scenery out here. All right, I'm gonna get this trail cam. I'm gonna get going. All right, trail cam is back. See if you could get this on a camera, but there's a lot of wind on this trail camera. I mean, a lot of wind, so not much to show, but I got a couple. I don't know if you can see that in mountain lion. Play it again. Nice big old mountain lion. It's always good to see, right? Let's see. 4. See if I could guess this one right. There's like a million of these. Don't know which is which. There it is. Pay close attention. It's, oh man, that glare is killing me. Where'd it go? Yeah, right in the corner there. Couldn't tell if it was a doe or a buck. I think it was a doe though. Yep, I'm gonna go set this camera up at the next spot. Here we are in the deer woods. So last year I killed a doe over here a couple miles in, but here we are. I've seen some pretty good sized bucks roam around in here, but they are far and in between. I've seen turkeys over here. On this spot specifically is bow only, so no rifles, no crossbows, straight bow only. I don't know if I'm wanting to hike all the way back there again, because it was a pain in the ass to pull that deer out. So I might try to find up a spot closer to the truck. But generally, I would recommend going in as far as possible to get away from hikers, other hunters, road noise, stuff like that. I mean, I have killed a deer here pretty close to my truck, so I'm gonna try to give that a shot. I didn't like it though, because I mean, you could hear hunters walking by, or hikers I should say, or other hunters crossing your blind, things like that. So once I get to a good location, I will go ahead and show you what I'm looking for. Alright, so off the beaten path, stumbled into a couple of game trails here. So this is basically what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a spot where game trails intersect. So we have one coming up right here. going out in that open field there. And we have another one here going down into this little wooded area. So when I'm setting up a blind, things like that, at least for me, I like to set it up in wooded areas, especially when I'm hunting with a bow, where if they cross my blind, it's going to be close contact. I'm not going to be shooting over 20, 30 yards. So I'm just gonna, yep, here we go. There's some deer tracks right there. I don't know if you can see those. There, it looks like there's a couple game trails going off down there. So when you're looking at a game trail, the first thing you want to establish is you want to make sure that it is a fresh game trail, that deer are still using that path when you are scouting. All right, so you're going to look for fresh prints, fresh scat, things like that. There's a couple other there. So this looks like it's going to be a good spot. Let's come off this way a little bit. Another trail here. Coming down this way. These are pines. Another thing you want to look for is make sure there's a food source. So fresh oaks, wheat, whatever in your area that the deer are eating on. For me, it's oaks. And they definitely like bushes like this. I've seen them eat bushes like this guy before. Some more tracks over here around this bush. Got an oak, another oak. Underneath this oak looks like it'd be a good spot for my blind, so I will probably set my blind up there. Another good practice too, when you're scouting, just scouting in the off season, when you're looking for a spot to place a tree stand or a blind, it's always a good idea to descent your boots in the least. And also when you set up your blind, you're going to want to brush your blind in as well as possible. And then after setting up your blind, get in it, take a look through your windows, even on a tree stand, and make sure you got a clear line of vision and you clear out some shooting lanes. So I have some pretty good tracks all over. I don't know what that is. Yeah, there's tracks coming down in here. Let's take a look over here. Let's take a look over yonder. See what we find over here. Another promising spot. So I'm seeing tracks, but I'm not seeing scat. So I know these game trails are being used. Beautiful getting out here in the woods. Some more tracks here. It looks like they're coming from the direction we came. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and set my camera back up over there. Let's see, another track there going that way. So this is an active game trail here. And normally I wouldn't be so loud, you know, I'd be nice and quiet. You know, scouting isn't all about just spotting deer. You know, you can spot deer all you want, but finding the game trails, active game trails is where it's at. So if you get lucky, you find some active game trails, you're going to set up your camera, set your blind 20-30 yards off that game trail. You know, and then check your camera, see what's moving through there. You know, last time I killed a deer pretty close to here, close to this spot, was on the other side, way over there. I actually had 2 mountain lions come in, and then opening day smacked a deer. So if you get things like mountain lions on there, you know, a lot of people say, oh, there's not going to be any deer in that area. I don't think that's true. Because where those 2 mountain lions are is right where they were standing, is right where I dropped that deer. So no tracks over here. But you do have oaks. A lot of oaks in this area. Another big thing is water source. If you have a food source and a water source next to each other, you're in business. So in this area, it looks like there's at least 3 or 4 game trails being used. One more tracks right there. Going up and down that way. Yeah. Hard to see. Right there, center camera. Look like doe tracks. So yeah. I'm gonna go ahead, set up one of my cams, and set up my blind in this spot. I always like to set up my blind a few months before season starts. Reason being that with the deer, if they spot it, they get used to it. They get used to it being in the area. But you do brush in your blind, brush it in as well as possible without obstructing your vision. Got more tracks going all the way through. I'll probably set up my blind underneath that tree over there. Cut away some of these bushes. Cut some of the dead limbs off of this tree. Cut down that bush a bit. Create a shooting lane right in this area. Right here. Would be perfect. That's about 20-30 yards right here. So I'm not going to worry about clearing a shooting lane past here. Because I do have a bunch of tracks in this area coming up and through, so I'll probably see if my strap's big enough to set up on this tree. If not, I'll have to set it up on a different tree, but I think that tree's going to be good. Only issue with my blind is I actually forgot my lock and chain, so I'm a little skeptical. I'm going to, but a little skeptical on setting up my blind because people out here will steal your stuff. Like I said, there's a lack of morals, lack of ethics with hunters in the hell is that? With hunters in California. And people in general, you know, they just leave their shit everywhere. Like, look at this. Leave your trash, people. It's a good idea. to leave your gloves, trash. You know, nature just loves it. If you pack it in, pack it out. Don't be a butthole. But here we go. Alright, I'll get back to you guys. Alright guys, here we are. This is my blind. Yes, it's see-through a little bit. So, didn't set up my camera I wanted. It's on a little tree over there, but shooting lane's cleared right there. I'll leave those bushes there. That way the over there can't spot the blind immediately. I got it brushed in a little bit, best I could. Show you where the camera is. Cut down this bush a little bit, that back bush a little bit, right on that little tree. I wanted to set it up on this tree, but my hose clamp wouldn't fit around there, so I wanted to get stuff. If it was going down that way, there's a game trail over there, but oh well. Well, here it is on this little tree. Take a look over at my blind. How do I zoom in on this thing? Well, maybe I can't. Alright. Can't figure it out. Not very tech savvy. There it is. Semi-brushed in. Still got a few months, so I'm expecting that tree's going to drop down a little more. But, all set up. Only thing I don't have is a lock. Also left my lock in the field for my camera so anybody can come and jack my SIM card. So next week I'll be coming back out here and putting those on. And then getting a chain and lock for this to wrap around this tree. Also, when you're planting down your stake, if you get a lot of wind where you're at, or planting down your blind, if you get a lot of wind, use some heavy duty stakes. Don't use the ones that come with it. So I used these ones before. I just brought this one along just as an extra one, but they don't work very well. So find something heavier. You know what? Should have showed you guys these before I brought them up, but they got some heavy duty ones at Walmart. And yeah, this is just a regular pop-up blind. So yeah, we'll see what happens this deer season, see what we get. I'll be coming up next week, check the camera, and see what happens. Also, do your best not to get bothered by the flies. Fucking things are driving me crazy. But get out in nature, guys. It's absolutely beautiful. A little hot, but it's all worth it. Alright guys, that's it for today. Last thing I'm gonna do is grab some pine branches, some small pine branches. Reason being is I use pine branches in my scent kill box, or my kill scent box, however you want to say it, to eliminate my scent, and so I could walk around here smelling like a pine tree, smelling like the natural woods out here, smelling like nature. You know, they do make a lot of scent blocks that you can use. So basically my process is I wash my hunting clothes, and the scent killer dead downwind is normally what I use, and then I put them in my kill scent box with pine needles, and then that way I smell like a pine tree when I walk around. Yeah, last thing you want is to smell like a human, but as they say, hunt the wind. You know, if you're hunting, you want to be hunting with the wind blowing in your face. You don't want the wind blowing to your back, blowing your scent in the direction that you're hunting, because the deer will smell your scent from a mile off and be gone before you even see them. Also, another thing, it's a week before season or a couple days before season, get out here and clear the trail to your tree stand or your blind. By that I mean, you know, kick aside all the dead leaves, tree branches, things like that. Just try to make yourself a nice quiet path, because you want to slip in there early, nice and quiet. And yeah, last thing you want is the deer to smell you, or yeah, smell you or hear you. And that happens, you're screwed. What I like to do is I like to leave the door to my blind open. So I'll leave it closed pre-season. A couple days before season, I'll come out and open it. And that way I don't have to open it getting in and then closing it once I get in. I just have to close it, you know, and that's it. And what else can I tell you? Oh, I think that covers about everything. So, you know, like I was saying earlier, in the game trails, just make sure you're looking for active game trails. You don't want to be set up on a dead game trail. There are dead game trails. They might be used still, but if they're not that heavily used, you're just going to be wasting your time. I've tried that before and have had no luck. So find an active game trail. Look for, you know, fresh prints, fresh scat on a game trail. If you can find multiple game trails like I did that intersect, that's going to be your best bet, you know, and then set up your blind accordingly, of course, you know, where you can see all the routes where those game trails are going to intersect. So for my case today, they intersect in that one open area between my blind and my game cam. So that is where I chose to set up my blind. It's because they all intersect in that area. So depending on the direction they're coming, they might end up right there. So we'll see what kind of bucks I get on there this year. I'll probably end up getting more does than anything, but like I said, for my draw choices this year, I put in for some doe tags. So hopefully I could at least end the year with a doe. Well, I'm gonna go ahead, collect some pine needles, and I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, there's actually a couple things I forgot to mention. First thing is, if you're in your blind, right, you're hunting from a blind, make sure that you are wearing all black. Do not wear camo in a blind, all black. The interior of your blind is most likely black, so wear black so you blend in better. Camo may work, but from my experience, black has worked the best, you know. I wear a black neck gaiter, black sweater, or a black long sleeve depending on the weather, and a black hat with some black paint. That's it. And that's it. Also, if you're actually going to scout for deer, the best time to scout for deer is early morning or late afternoon. When it's hot in the middle of the afternoon like it is now, the deer are most likely going to be bedded down. You could walk around, stomp around the woods and try to find bedding areas, but chances are you're going to spook those deer. They're going to hop out of their bedding areas and they're going to run off. So the best time is to sneak there early morning. You know, be very quiet, walk very quietly, descent, you know, and like I said, hunt the wind. Make sure the wind is in your face, not towards your back, which can be hard because sometimes the wind swirls. But like I said, early morning, late afternoon is the best time. When it starts to cool down is the best time to actually scout for deer. For me, in my area, I know this area, and I know this is a good deer spot. So for me, when I come out scouting, I'm looking for different areas to set up tree stands, to set up blinds, things like that. Because I know this area pretty well. I've been hunting here for the last 5-6 years. We're in this bow-only area. So I know the spot behind me, I know all of this spot, I know further spots down the road, I know further spots even across the road here. I actually have a tree stand across the way on the other side of the hill here. And so yeah, I know that this is a good deer spot. I know where a lot of the game trails are. This is a new spot that I looked for today, to see what these game trails are going to do. But like I said, if you actually want to spot deer, get up early and go out and look for deer, or wait till late afternoon when it cools down, because right now the deer are going to be bedded down. When it's hot, they bed down in the shade, shady areas. So those are other good places if you want to sit on top of a hill and glass and see if you can see antlers or something sticking up out of the tall grass underneath some shade trees or something like that. But yeah, early morning, late afternoon. And remember, wear black in your blind if you're hunting from the blind. If you're doing spot and stalks, camo is good. Tree stands, camo is good. But in a blind, all black.